Hey there, Miss Ruth, it's Debbie. I haven't had my coffee yet, so voice may be a little scratchy, but let's see if we can get you through this. When you go into Aweber, you said you're going to do a broadcast, so click on Messages, then I go to Broadcast. And when that comes up, you would ask me if I use plain text or HTML. Me personally, I go to the HTML because I'll show you here. If you click on New HTML Message, let's see, when it gets done loading, now I use the plain one here because that way I don't have all this stuff interfering, and I haven't figured out, I have spent some time playing with the templates, but it just frustrates me. So I'll deal with the pretty up on that later. But anyway, I use the plain one in the HTML because down here, if this is checked, which I believe it defaults to, there is a plain text one that is also being generated. What that means is that you can work on it in the HTML for those of us who have computers or software that actually allow the HTML, the pretty stuff and the images to show up in our emails, like the people who do send you newsletters. They will still get all that little pretty stuff, but those who don't, they're automatically going to get a plain text one. So by doing it in HTML, like I said, when you go back, just select the HTML, go to plain so that you've got all the stuff out of your way, and just make sure this is checked, and it'll create kind of, two different styles for your subscribers at the same time. Now, once you've done that, okay, go up here, insert the subject. Let's see, time to, well, I don't care. Time to get, that perfectionist coming out of me again. Time to get the weekend started. All right, so I've got my subject. Now I want to go down here. This is default on the plain. And all I do is click in that box. Now that just grabs a hold of the entire box itself in case you want to move it around, or in case you want to throw it out, or all that fancy schmancy stuff. So all we want to do is type. So I'm going to click in it again until my cursor is actually there. Okay, you see the cursor is blinking here. All right, and for me, I just left click, hold, drag everything so that everything's highlighted, and then I hit my delete key. That gives me a plain message. Now I can start. What I usually do is, hey there, because that's how I talk. Hit the space bar, and I want it to have everybody's first name in it. So I go up here over to your right where it says personalize. Click on the personalize, and I only ever use the first name. I want to keep it personal, and when my subscribers sign up, and I think on yours it's the same way, most people only have you sign up with their first name, so that's what's going to be in your system, and you don't want any blank spaces or last name showing up in the field. So when I click on it, it automatically puts this first name box in it. That lets you know that that is a field that's going to pre-fill for you on each of your emails individually. So then I put a comma, and then I just start typing my message. Message goes here, how are you? And then I get to where what we were talking about on that other video is check out my link. Yeah, see, I've been using my dragon so much that I don't have to type anymore. Check out my link. Okay, now this is where we want to fix your links. When you go in, and I'm going to go over here to your web page. All right, say this is the post that you want to share with people on tomorrow's on the broadcast, right? When you go to your post, the URL is up here in the top. Okay, so I'm going to click up there. It will automatically highlight everything, and then you can either hold the control key and hit C, so it's a control C to copy, or you can make sure your mouse is up here, right click, and do copy there. I don't know which way you do it, so I wanted to make sure that you knew exactly what I was doing. So then I go back over here, click on, go back to editing my message. And you have a choice. Okay, I've seen it done both ways. Like Patty Stafford sent me an email yesterday that had her, here, let me paste this in here. You can right click and paste, or you can hit Control V as in Victor to paste. Either way you want to do it, whichever is faster for you. I'm all about saving myself time. So now this is your post. Now that should, and let me double check that for you. I'm going to send that over to myself. I'm going to send a test message to myself because I want to make sure that this is actually going to show up as a linkable link, if that makes sense. Rather than it's not just going to show up as text and look like, oh, it's a link, but now as a reader, I'm going to have to copy it and paste it into my browser so that I can actually pull up the page. You want to keep it as easy as you can on your subscribers, right? You want them to be able to just go to your email, see what you've said, and when they go, ooh, I like that, I want to go check out this post, all they have to do is click it and it'll automatically open up in their browser. You want to save them as many steps as you can too. So while that's waiting, I'm going to go back to where we were. Maybe. Okay, so we're back over here, and I'm going to get back into the message. Okay, where we can see it here. And now here's your other option. Okay, while we're waiting for that, I'm going to kind of hit the return and move that down out of my way and go back up here because I want to be where I'm writing the message. The message that you want to send out to them today is, what are you afraid of? Okay, you want it to look like the actual title to your blog post, right? So you type that in, and then I'm going to move my cursor back up here next to the end of it, or beginning, whichever is easier, and I'm going to left click and hold and then drag it across this so it highlights it. Alright, now that I've got it highlighted, if you go up here to the top part, this works on any of your sites, okay? Whether you're in WordPress or you're in Aweber, this works the same in both places. When it might, the graphic might be a little bit different, but if you're inserting links, whether this is a WordPress page, let me go over to my Dare to Get Personal. Okay, I'll show you because I can do this over there. Let's say that over here I want to create a new post in my website. It's no different than when you're in Aweber. In a post, because I know you know how to do that, this is Ruth's post she's creating. Okay, and I want to do, what are you, oh goodness, what are you afraid of? This is where I kill myself on time, right? Alright, so either way, it's no different here than what it is over here in Aweber. Okay, and I want to try to help you make the connections so that it's not, when I first started learning software, it was like, oh, it's all different. It's not. And once you start making the connections, it's going to make all of your software much simpler. So it's the same difference. This is your Aweber note, and I've got what are you afraid of. This is your WordPress post, and I have what are you afraid of. We're going to start over here on the WordPress post because that's what you're used to. Left click and hold, highlight what are you afraid of. And I know you've done this in links because I believe you have a link. Is this the one that you had it on? We're going to show you how to make those stand out a little more too. Okay. Yeah, see, you have links here, but those are the regular, these are the text, but they actually link. Alright, well, let's see, not a good example page. Okay, but we're going to stay here anyway. So, you highlight in WordPress, and you look for the little chain link. You click on it, and this is where I'm going to hit Control V because I already have it copied. You can also right click and paste it that way too. But this is the link to your post. You want to keep people on your website, so always when you set up links like this, make sure that you click Open Link in a new window. That way they have your page. They'll have your blog and whoever's affiliate link that you sent them to, or whoever's blog you sent them to. They still have yours. Click on Add Link, and that's it. Okay, it's now a clickable link. And if I save the draft and I go over here to preview, okay, see, this is the post Ruth is creating. What are you afraid of? That's my link. Now I make sure that whenever I am in my posts, when I have that link, before I link it, it's much easier. Grab a hold of it. Now I have to underline it, but that's a theme issue, so don't worry about that. Yours have been underlining themselves, I believe, and if not, you can underline them. But I bold it, and then I create the link, because that way, when it shows up into your stuff, like right now it looks like this. Okay, this is going to refresh, and it comes out bold instead, and it makes it very easy for people to find your links. Now I'm going to go back over here to Aweber, since that's what we're doing, and I'm going to do the exact same thing just like I'm working in WordPress. I'm going to left click, hold, and highlight, and then the chain link is up here. I am going to, well, let's do the same thing, bold it so that it shows up very well, and then click on the link. And it's red right now because there's nothing in there. This is not a valid link. So I'm going to hit Control V to paste what I still have there. It runs out, checks your site, says, hey, excuse me, this is a valid link, so I'm good to go. Now I'm going to go back to my message, and I'm just going to continue to type. Okay, you put the rest of your message in here. Thanks, Ruth Clark. I'll talk with you soon. And make sure it's all prettied up, get all this crap that we've had down there. And that's it. Now your message is ready to go, right? So I'm going to hit test. I'm going to, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to send the test. And if I go over to, whoops, if I go over to my Gmail, I want to double check that those messages came through. Okay. Over here on all mail. Okay, these are the ones that came through. This is the first one that had just the link, and it does show up as a link. Now when I get this from you, all I have to do is click on it, and it'll automatically open up your page for me. Okay, that's what you want your subscribers to be able to do. Now when I go back here, because it sent both messages, this is the one that we just did below, and it shows up as what are you afraid of. Same thing, I can click and go. Now when I go back to edit message, I know that that test worked, so I'm going to go back to my message. I'm going to save, and then I want to go to the next step. And this software, since it's free, it looks like it has a 15-minute limit on it, so I've got like just over a minute left. So I get this over here. You can decide if you want to post it, okay, if you've got your post set up in there or not. Go to next. Make sure it's on the list that you want to send it to. I exclude everybody else just by clicking on exclude. I save my message. Yes, I have less than a minute. Hopefully I'll get to the end of this for you. Now, this is the message that we created, the time to get the weekend started. That's it. You're good to go. You click on Q, and I'm not going to do that because I don't want to send that message out, but you click on Q, and that's it. You're done. All right? If that doesn't clear it up and you have more questions, you get in touch with me, okay? I just like to make sure that you've got this on the tutorial. I will talk with you soon.